Good morning, everyone. My name is Arusta. My co-commentator today is Bigfoot08, and we're watching the ALTTPR League, Week 7. How are you doing today, Bigfoot?
Oh, I'm really fine. I'm really enjoying the day, and we have a full day of A Link to the Past Randomizer in front of us. So let's enjoy this.
Absolutely. We should be off in just a minute here. This week is co-op week, so on the left side you'll see Shovel is a true go mode, represented by So and Alyn. And then on the right side, we've got Reheated Leftovers, represented by Toplife and dazedcloud. Both of these teams are still in contention for the playoffs. Shovel needs to win both the matches this week against Reheated Leftovers and then have a bit of other races go the other way to win some tiebreakers. Reheated Leftovers needs to win at least one race, preferably two, to make the playoffs.
Yeah, if Reheated Leftovers win both races, they at least have a race off for the playoffs guaranteed, so they'll be looking to secure that.
Absolutely, and the interesting thing about this week is it's co-op all dungeons, so they will need to kill Aga 1, they will need to clear all the dungeons, but both runners on each team are in their own little Discord chat, so they split up checks, decide how they want to do things in order to avoid redoing things.
And we're off. Kind of as expected, we can see that one runner begins at Link's house, the other one begins at the cathedral, so both runners split up the checks between each other and communicate them.
Yeah, it looks like on the right side, looks like dazedcloud is setting up for a early Houlihan play here, which makes a lot of sense because in co-op you'll often be a bit more starved for resources than in a regular seed since you'll avoid opening things. So getting that money earlier can make it a lot easier to make sure you don't have to ignore checks or get Zora money or anything like that.
Yes. And we see the uncle that gives us the cape. Very early cape. Well, would this be an Aga seed?
It's entirely possible. It is worth noting that since this is all dungeons, they would have to do Aga at some point, but there is, of course, a difference between being able to put it off till the very end and having to do it as part of your progression.
Yeah, you really like to do Aga at the very last, after GT, just before you drop down to Ganon. That's the most convenient point to do Aga 1, but, well, we'll see what happens. Oh, and there is a glove on Lumberjack, so we will see an early Aga play.
Yeah, it is worth noting with the way they've divided up these checks, Reheated Leftovers has not been that way and so doesn't know about that glove yet.
Yeah, but Toplife already picked up that cape, and it's an indication that Aga might be on the plate, so they will check Lumberjack quite early, I think. And there we have a book at Sasha's closet. That could mean that we will see an early desert play.
Yeah, meanwhile, Toplife picking up the Moon Pearl there in the back of the bar. That's a check that, of course, everybody's going to do early, so that's very nice to find.
Yes, so no difficulties to find the Moon Pearl. That's always nice. I think it's very interesting this, that So and Alyn both are in Kakariko at the time. I would have expected one of them go South Shore or somewhere else, so now they are both doing similar checks in the same place.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're also seeing on Reheated Leftover side, Dazed Cloud. One Heart might need to be a little careful, but is going to be able to check most of Eastern.
Yeah, and there is the lamp in the back of... in the back of Blind's hideout, and we have seen the boots in Blind's hideout, so that's a very important thing.
And Berna and Mir in the well. Mir is, of course, very nice to find because it is required since Swamp will be required. And Berna, especially this early, is just a nice safety item.
Yeah, Burner and Cape very early. Maybe Spy Cave will have something. Up till now, I think Eastern was pretty empty. There was not really something in there. So, not a good dip.
Yeah, thus far we've found basically, I think there was 50 rupees in the one chest, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I saw a heart piece in the big chest in Eastern. But that's about it. And so, despite us finding that 300 in the library is also setting up the Hoolihan, maybe we'll see an early fake flipper to Zoa.
Yeah, and that does make a lot of sense with having all this money early, being able to clear those. It would be out of logic at this point since there's no gloves or flippers, but I mean, it definitely makes some sense if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Especially since with Alyn doing the Sahasrara and Eastern Palace play, that provides, allows them to split up their checks pretty nicely there.
Yeah, I suspect that Soul will go South Shore now to the dam and then Mini Muldum Cave. He just got some bombs for that. And Top Life seems to be doing the same.
Yeah, though it is worth noting that Top Life only has 40 rupees at this point, so might end up with some issues if there's not a lot of rupees down here. Might have to leave that Zora check behind.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that. I think he'll just do the South Shore. Maybe even go to... nah, he doesn't have the book yet. I thought he might go Agina and Desert, but that might be more something for Dazed Cloud later.
Very nice job.
Yeah,
that bomb mini Moldorm cave for, oh wow, flute,
whoa.
hammer.
Well, that's a nice mini Muldum cave.
Yeah, just those, but that's still nice.
And if I'm looking around, boots, hammer, flute, mirror, this seed is pretty loaded pretty early.
But So does take the death there, so won't be able to check the rest of South Shore.
Ah, that's too bad. He really wanted to check... well, okay, he can check Ice Rod Cave quite okay after activating the flute, so that should be okay. He won't lose too much time. And there he flutes, so flutes to 8 and will now do the Ice Rod Cave, and after that I reckon he'll do a fake flipper. Maybe find a glove or something else, which is sequence broken. Could make things easier.
Yeah, and that would be a really big find here in just like that. Good call.
Wow, it's not sequence broken, but it's okay. And now he's setting up the water walk.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting find here, since we know the other glove is on Lumberjack, because that might mean that you can... Oof, that's a bit unfortunate there. That might mean that you don't necessarily have to have both runners do the Aga play early. Maybe you have one chase the Dark World access that you have, while the other person goes and gets Aga 1 and mitts.
Yeah. A little unfortunate for dazedcloud that he saved and quitted out of Minimuldum Cave, just seconds before topplife found the glove in Ice Rod Cave. He could have chained that together, but with a flute, he'll be able to do that quickly. Oh, and Alyn has to be careful. Last bomb, but he gets it. Yeah, with that glove, topplife decides to check back of escape, while So does go to the Dark World with hammer and glove and does Hype Cave, which just has the Ether medallion. Oh, well, that's okay. We might need that. Well, it might be a while till we see the Aga 1 play. I think Dark Mountain is open, but, well, okay. I think you want to have the mids before you go Dark Mountain, because if you have the mids, then Dark Death Mountain, you can do that at the same time. So maybe Aga 1 before you go to the mountain. But we still don't have a sword, which we need for Aga 1. Maybe there is a required double dip in the mountain.
Yeah, meanwhile, this play through the southern part of the Dark World right now for So has paid off with just Ether and then the shield, possibly 2 shields if he'd wanted to pick them up, so not a whole lot yet.
Yeah, now we'll see the shovel game. And Storm, yeah, Mizumari is a crystal, but we'll have an all dungeon here, so every dungeon will have to be done, even Aga 1. And so that's not too...
Meanwhile, dazedcloud showing us desert here. Will not be able... Could clear it if if they want to do hammer landmos.
Yeah, but that hammer landmos is not the best. Oh, there's a sword and desert ledge, so that's our AGA 1 access. So I imagine, oh, and a hookshot in desert. That's very nice for the dark mountain, for the mountain play. So I imagine we'll see the AGA 1 play, and after that the mountain play very soon.
Yeah, and that's with the way they're splitting up checks. Basically, since dazedcloud is going to get the sword and the hookshot, definitely will be the one to do the AGA 1 play, whereas topplife will probably, looks like he's going to focus on some other dungeons. Probably see the same thing in a couple minutes from Shovel as the true go mode as well.
Yeah.
To answer a question in chat, you can do AGA 1 with the bug net, however you can't actually get to him because you do need a sword to get through. There's some curtains you have to cut.
Yeah. And for the magic barrier you need either Master Sword or the Cape, so one sword is not sufficient for that, but we have the early Cape, so AGA 1 is fully in logic right now. And there is a bottle in the dark village. Very convenient since we have the mirror, so you can quickly check sick kit. Very nice.
Yeah, and I like the decision here to turn in that bottle before you go into Thieves Town, just because if you get a weapon or maybe half magic or something, it might make it more desirable to play out your Thieves Town play all the way.
Yeah, but it's just a mushroom, so a quick fetch quest. You can do that very quickly because of the flute, so he'll do that first.
Yeah, and with the money, since it does have well more than the 500 rupees needed, you can buy a potion very conveniently here, so we'll see if So decides to do that.
Yeah. And he's doing exactly that. Mushroom just was a big 20, so not very important. And the reheated leftovers have decided, no, we don't want to do different stuff. We both want to go to Dark Mountain. We both want those checks up there. So they'll both do desert and I think Aga 1 and then go to the mountain.
Yeah, it's also possible wanted to get Mitz early to check on that also opens up Meyer as well.
Yeah, that's
the Meyer shed in that area.
Yeah, checkabout is open. We even, if Ether is the Meyer medallion, we could even go into Meyer. Ah, but topplife decides to show us something new. Front of escape, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, with the time differences involved here, makes some sense here to do that, because by the time dazedcloud, topplife will be able to finish this off before dazedcloud gets over to Hyrule Castle, so be able to tell him whether or not, hey, skip front of escape, or whether there's something there that you can easily combo in when you make your Aga 1 play.
Yeah, that's a very nice consideration. And what's dazedcloud up to? Can't be a swarm player. I think he'll go hype cave. Yeah, he needs the ether medallion out of there. And maybe he'll go to port afterwards. And front of escape is a bust. Nothing important there. Did Alyn? No, Alyn didn't pick up his mids before going to the mountain. That's...
No.
Well, you can do that, but I'd do Aga 1 first and go up... Oh yeah, Shovel is the true Gomo. They don't know about the mids. They haven't checked Lumberjack yet. Oh.
Yeah, which was kind of surprising because they, a few minutes ago, so did Bonk Rocks, and so you're close enough that you already have boots, you're close enough. I was kind of surprised they didn't check it that time.
Yeah, but that other glove and the hammer, that did them no good, because they have Dark World access now. Aga 1 for Dark World access is off the table, so that could hurt them very much.
Yeah, that's definitely something where, since it's just one check, they'll probably put that off for quite a while, maybe combo it in when you do like a bumper ledge check or something like that, but that'll be a ways.
Yeah, could be nearly last location for them. Whoa, that's not too good.
Meanwhile, also showing us off the nice hammer and Burna strats here in blind.
Yeah, and reheated leftover both go to Aga and finish him up to get their mids.
Oh, but there is Fire Rod on blind. That is a big thing, and it might also mean drive them to do Skull Woods. And if you do Skull Woods, having already had the mirror, that puts a bumper cave check and hopefully an agate check kind of close by, so maybe they'll do that.
Yeah, we might also get a pet check from them, because we already have the book. I'd imagine one of the reheated leftovers will go to the mountain, the other one might start clearing Dark World dungeons, like Thief's Town. So I think they'll find the Fire Rod kind of early, kind of soon.
Oh no, Shovel is the true Gomo did not make that play out to figure out Lumberjack Cave, so that is now kind of out of the way. They've done pretty much everything else in the area.
Yeah. Whoa, that's gonna hurt. Well, Paradox Cave was nothing. Well, there's a mail upgrade on the floating island. Yeah, we get an ether type of check. We can't get it, but you can see it. Oh! Is that's... Oh,
that is
that's
Samaria.
Samaria. Wow.
However,
So
we we cannot get it until we get a second sword, and it is worth noting the reheated leftovers, whenever they go up there, which will probably be pretty soon, will have a lot more checks being able to do the Dark Death Mountain as well, so it's possible they might find a sword and be able to route that in more easily.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll have all of Hookshot Cave 4 checks and Super Bunny Cave 2 checks. So, yeah. Well, luckily we have an early mirror, otherwise that ether tablet would be really out of the way. With the mirror, it's, well, still a little out of the way, but it's okay to get there. If you have to rely on hookshot and hammer, then it's a really long trip to go there. Oh, and Catfish gives us a bow. Wow. Another thing really out of the way.
Yeah, and it's even further out of the way because no one's really no one's gone to Zora, so we don't have flippers. So basically, right now, without flippers, you're making that check just for Catfish at this point.
Yeah. So we here leftovers all doing all the good stuff. Checking Lumberjack, checking the Catfish. That's very good for them. Yeah, and that bow makes pot clearable, makes eastern clearable. So I think one of them might do that. And the other one should go up the mountain.
Yeah, with the way they're going, it looks like Topplife is probably going to play this out through some of the Village of Outcast checks.
Or he might go Lumberjack from here and go up the mountain then. Yeah, and dazedcloud is going Port Eastern.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense because there are two crystals you can clear, and then there's also a number of items we haven't yet seen, so I don't remember the item count, but I believe there might have been one still on Armos, plus there's, of course, the 5 items in Pod.
Yeah, I think we've seen 2 items in Eastern. So I think, yeah, there might be one left. Even if not, it's a crystal, and with a mirror it's very quick to get there from port, so just do it. Yeah, and Alyn, meanwhile, he'll come to the end of his mountain checks. Hasn't really found anything till now. I think here this Spiral Cave is his last check up here. If he doesn't do Spike Cave. And there is Quake.
Yeah, I think Alyn was out of bombs the first time he came here to Paradox, and that's why he's coming to check.
Oh, and dazedcloud having a little problems with the mimic, but now he got it. Oh, Alyn, be careful. Yeah, he got it. But just another bottle with a blue goo in Paradox Cave, so, well, nothing really interesting. Bottle with blue goo is always good, because we'll have pretty low health here in this seed, because we are skipping a lot of checks, so you want to have that safety, but otherwise it's not very exciting. Oh, and so is going to... No, he is not going to Aga 1.
Probably might have been thinking to do Aga 1, then remembered, wait, no one's checked front of escape, so he's going to do like reheated leftovers showed us, check the front first and then mirror out.
Yeah, and Alyn does the back, does Dark Cross. Something very nice for reheated leftovers. They're going to find the fire rod before going up to the mountain. So if they find another sword up there, they might be able to go kinda deep into Turtle Rock, if the medallion is okay.
Yeah, meanwhile, dazedcloud finding flippers there in pod, which is a very nice thing. Does open up a few checks, opens up all of Swamp Palace, and also opens up Ice Palace once they get their fire rod, or find out about their fire rod from blind here.
Yeah, and that puts us really close to go mode, I think. You, of course, need the ice rod. And maybe bombers from Maya or Turtle Rock, but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, and a second sword so they can grab Kane.
Yeah, that of course too, but that's... we'll find that. And Alyn does Aga 1 now. I still don't know if they've checked Lumberjack, but I don't think they have many checks left, so they might blind check it. Nah, the red stick is on Ether Tablet. Yeah, Star, Alyn can't have his mitts from Lumberjack because he has to finish Aga 1 first. I was wondering if one of the shovelers, the true Go Mode guys, has checked Lumberjack. I haven't seen that.
Oh, and that is a rough death there by Alyn. Dying in the Aga Tower climb costs a ton of time.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Meanwhile, we'll see two boss fights on the rear leftover side blind. There comes the fire rod for top life. And the hammer fight for dazedcloud.
Very nice boss fights, both of them. The blind stayed nicely on script, and Helma was nice and efficient there. Well done.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Top Life getting his mushroom from the sick kid. Oh, it's very close again for Alyn. He just has a half a heart and uses a blue goo. Very rightful so, because there he gets hit another time.
Yeah, definitely don't want to take a second death in that same room. That would feel awful.
Yeah. And uses the hookshot to stun those guards. Makes it easier to kill them.
Looks like Top Life might pick up the Smith, and then with the way they did that map check, might head up to Skullwoods after this, since that is a clearable dungeon with 2 items in it.
Yeah, I thought about doing Smith chain with a lunchbox and checking Bomber's tablet, maybe going to my area. And that's a very nice armors fight from dazedcloud.
Yeah, meanwhile, Top Life getting the Ice Rod, which is another component of our Go mode. At this point, basically, they have not been up to Death Mountain, so they don't know that the cane's up there, but looking for a second sword and possibly a medallion.
Yeah, and they'll be checking my pretty soon. Because they want to know if they are close to Go mode or not. He doesn't even care about the lunchbox. And is Top Life going to do Swamp? Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like dazedcloud is going to Swamp, while Top Life is going to play out Skullwoods.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I like this, because they haven't been on the mountain. And mountain is so many checks, which all of them they can do. And we know that they'll find, well, not their Go mode, but their possible Bomber's Go mode up there. So, well, I don't know if I like it to not go up the mountain at this point.
Yeah, I mean, not only is there the item density, there's also that knowledge to be able to know, what you need still. Because especially with Swamp, Go mode Swamp is so much faster than full clear.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shovel is a true go mode, about to find out about this bow on catfish, which will be very good for them.
Yeah, and suddenly they are not that far behind that as we thought they were, because well, yeah, they have a few dungeons less, but they have almost all the knowledge. Just need to do a smith chain, or hammer packs at least.
Looks like we're seeing a setup for potentially Splash Delete there on Shovel's True Go mode side.
Nah, he decided against it. He'll check Zora ledge, just 10 arrows, and he'll go to Zora. Well, we'll see what scam we can expect today. The only really interesting thing that could be there is Bombos.
I'm thinking single arrow or single rupee.
That would be really rude. Oh, well, at least it's a heart. Oh, and I think it was Sankard.
So taking the intentional death there, looks like going to play this back to Mothula, which of course makes a lot of sense to check the back first. Or check the back and get your boss, see if you have the remaining items back there.
Yeah, because Mothula has an increased chance of an item, because none of the 3 small keys in the dungeon can be on Moth. So it's more probable that there is an item on Moth than in any other location in the dungeon. Well, but Fighter's Sword and Hammer Moth is well, I don't know anybody who likes it. Especially if Moth is hugging the corners, but now he got it. Oh, and I think Alyn is going to do a pod, which will find him the flippers. It's very good for them.
Toplife going to give us a ped check here.
Please be Bombos, and Bombos required for Maya or Turtle Rock. Nope, that's just a shield upgrade.
Looks like Toplife is going to make this mountain play, which on their side, it's what? Well into the double-digit checks, especially if you can actually do part of, if you find a second sword up here and can do Turtle Rock as well.
Yeah. Oh, and Toplife is going away from the mountain to check the Maya area. He'll check the medallion here, so he know if he finds something up there on the mountain, whether he'll need it. Oh, and Myra is Ether, we already have that. So the only thing we don't know yet is Turtle Rock medallion. And there's our second sword in the Maya shed. So topplife will be able to get the Somalia, and he can finish Turtle Rock.
Yeah, though it is worth noting that with that second sword and already having Ether, can go into Mire right now, which we know would lead basically nowhere, but it's possible decides to make that play.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the Somalia. If he had Somalia, yes, he would absolutely do it right now, so he could clear it, but without Somalia, it doesn't really make sense. You don't need too many things right now. They only need Somalia and medallions. And then you go up to the mountain. There's so many checks up on the mountain. Yeah, another reason why it is not so much fun to go in Swamp right now. We'll see a very slow Argus fight with only a fighter sword and a hammer. We either have a very slow fight or a menu fight, so that's not very good. Nice to have.
And there's the second bow in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, but that means I think So won't go to Catfish to get his silvers. All the three others will have their silvers, but So won't, because Catfish is such a long way to get there. I don't think he'll do that.
Yeah, but that check is close enough that silvers would save you time, so I would, yeah, it's not something the others are going to skip, even if they know it's there.
Yeah.
And it is worth noting that in all these checks, there is not another sword thus far, so may not be able to get the cane on this trip.
Yeah, and there wasn't any sword in Hera as well. So it's not going to get that cane. And we have seen, apparently, that Turtle Rock is Quake. So once Toplife comes to the ether tablet and sees the Samaria, oh well, now they don't have Quake, but he'll know that they are, well, in Quake Go mode. They only need Quake. There was Quake. Wasn't Quake also somewhere here on the mountain?
Yeah, I thought Quake was on...
Spiral Cave, yeah, Spiral Cave. Quake was in Spiral Cave, yes. So Toplife will have Go mode in a few minutes, I reckon. He'll do Hera and Ether Tablet right now. And then he'll go back to do Spiral Cave, and then he'll know I'm in Go mode.
Yeah, the leftovers have done a very good job optimizing their checks here and being efficient.
Yeah. dazedcloud will get his Master Sword now, and then he'll nope out of the Maya area because topplife just found the Samaria, and dazedcloud will get that.
To answer a question in chat, the Ice Rod is in Hammer Pegs, and Shovel is a true go mode have not really been in that area much. They did the Village of Outcast checks, but did not have gloves at the time, so Hammer Pegs and the Smith's Chain are both kind of out there that they haven't done either of those.
Yeah. Yeah, and dazedcloud, I think he'll go get his Fire Rod now from Thieves Town, and his Ice Rod from the Hammer Packs. And after that, he'll go up the mountain. Especially after he'll hear in a few minutes that there is Quake also, and that there is the Go mode up there. So he'll do that pretty soon.
Yeah, because the way the timing's going to work out, topplife is almost certainly going to pick up the Quake before dazedcloud finishes off the checks he's in the middle of, so they'll know they're in go mode very, very soon.
Yeah, dazedcloud should have just enough time to get his Fire Rod from Blind and his Ice Rod from the Hammer Packs, and then, yeah, they won't have to do any other checks. Meanwhile, Zo is going to Ice Palace. Yeah. He did a fake flipper there, I think. He hasn't gotten his flippers out of port, but... well, that's okay. And no Icebreaker today from Shovelers or the True Go mode, because they don't have a second sword to get their Zomaria. So they have to do Ice Palace a long way.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we know there's a possibility of another sword in here, but otherwise, we know they're not going to get anything from this play.
Yeah. I really wonder why they haven't checked Meyer. Because so he has a flute, he has a mitts. Meyer are 3 quick checks with a plus the knowledge of the medallion. That's strange decision, but okay.
Very nice Ice Palace Bomb jump there by So.
Yeah, and it's just under a minute till topplife will find the Go mode for reheated leftovers. Because there he goes into Spiral Cave and he'll know this is Go mode.
And at 52 minutes, reheated leftovers is in go mode.
Yeah, and instantly he goes to get his flippers from port, finish Eastern, and then they'll do all the dungeons off the mountain, and I think they'll do the GT then, and Turtle Rock and GT then, and then do Aga 2. Ganon. It even should be a really nice routing for dazedcloud up on the mountain, because he can use the mirror to get to Ether Tablet, then go over to do the Spiral Cave, then go up through the Dark World, pick up his silvers from Hookshot Cave, and then go into Turtle Rock. It would be a very nice routing that way. And Alyn has realized he doesn't have the mids yet, so he can't go the Dark Death Mountain. So he's going to pick up mids now. And hopefully he'll do the Mire checks next. Because that's where he'll find a second sword, which he'll need to get his Somaria up on the mountain. So it would be nice for them to go Mire first.
Yeah, and thus far the Ice Palace play has not gotten them what they really need, which is a second sword. Got an extra bottle, but that's basically it, I believe.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time with 2 swords hiding in GT or somewhere. Well, and now topplife is the first player to be in Go mode on his own, just having picked up his flippers.
Oh, and there's a clutch potion use there by So.
Well, So could use a fire rod. He just got some magic back with a potion, but he'll stick to the hammer. And is successful.
Yeah, and so since we're about an hour in, just a quick update in case anybody joined late. So this is a Link to the Past Randomizer League. This is the last week, which is co-op all dungeons. So and Alyn are on a team. Shovel is a true go mode. They're in a Discord chat and talking back and forth about locations, what they found, where they need to look stuff, etc. Same thing on Reheated Leftover side, Topplife and dazedcloud. My name is Arusta. My co-commentator is Bigfoot08. And also shout-outs to our trackers who are keeping us on point by pushing all the buttons, Dark Diplomat and Star 1468.
Yeah, without our trackers we'd be lost. It's always nice to have good trackers on our side. Especially if there are forerunners to keep track of, so they make our life very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see how dazedcloud decides to route this, because while you need to double dip the mountain no matter what. But there might be an argument, since you're co-op, for doing Turtle Rock now, because you're so far ahead in dungeons compared with where your teammate is, so that way you can find where the big key is and what chests are required, and let your teammate have a faster run through Turtle Rock.
I don't think dazedcloud has to double dip the mountain. He can go, he can finish Hera, he can go to Spiral Cave after that, get his Quake. Then he's in Go mode, then he can do Turtle Rock and GT. And then he'll be done on the mountain.
Well, but you have to leave for Meyer before you can do GT, though. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, I forgot Meyer is a crystal, yes. Yeah, that's right.
So the question is really whether you do Turtle Rock right now and get that information for your teammate, or you do what you'd often do, which is, hey, I'll come back, do Turtle Rock right into GT.
Yeah, I think doing doing Turtle Rock now would be... I prefer that because, well, you can't save too much time with a Go mode TR, but you can save maybe a minute if you don't have to do laser bridge and so on, and to have that knowledge is nice.
Yeah, especially since for people who aren't familiar with how this is scored, it is based on average time. So the ideal is that you really want to finish it about the same. You want to finish fast, of course, but you also want to finish close to your teammate, because if you finish first and your teammate finishes fourth, it's possible that second and third place runners' average time actually ends up beating you.
Yeah. And since dazedcloud has some more dungeons done than topplife, I think he'll be the one who takes the bow the arrow to the knee and do Turtle Rock the slow way to set up topplife for a fast Turtle Rock.
And I'm guessing dazedcloud just wasn't aware about just found about the hearts in this cave, but doesn't know which one.
Yeah, he might be looking for that bottle with the blue goo in here.
Yeah, which makes sense, but yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of those things that's very difficult to, in the middle of the race, you just tell them, hey, it's the second one in Upper Paradox, and everybody calls that differently.
Yeah. Oh, and Shovel is the true Go mode finally finding their ice rod. So they just have to go to the Maya area to find their second sword, and then they'll know they'll be in Go mode. Because they already have knowledge of kind of Samaria, and just have to find a second sword, which is in Maya's shed. Yeah, RAS system, they are not in sword mode now because no one of them has been in the Maya area, so they don't know about the Maya medallion. So, to their knowledge, they could be in sword and bombosen mode.
Yeah, and I definitely like the decision here from dazedcloud to get silver as that extra heart container and the red and the extra mail here.
Yeah. And I hope very much that Alyn doesn't go to the mountain but checks Maya area. Well, he doesn't. He was thinking very long where to flute, but just to get his silvers up from up here on the mountain. I mean, yeah, he could do Turtle Rock, but getting that knowledge from Meyer is so much more important right now.
Yeah, and without the second sword and unable to get Kane, can't even go into Turtle Rock. You can open it up, but that's about it.
So he's just up here for his silvers and maybe his blue mail on the floating island. That's not. I don't think that's a good play. And So has done all the checks up here, so there's nothing left for Alyn to check.
Yeah, and a nice subtle thing here on Reheated Leftover side. Even though they're both in go mode, they are in different dungeons that neither of them has been in yet. So that once they have to flip-flop, they'll be able to say, hey, here's the big key, here are the chests you can skip, etc. Which is less of an issue for Turtle Rock since you still have to clear most of it no matter what. But especially for Meyer, the difference between being able to know exactly where the big key is and accidentally having to clear everything is a huge change.
Yeah. Meyer can be either very short or very long. To have it very short, you want the big key to be either in this chest or in the one on the broken bridge. And here's just a small key. Nope, no Godmire today, just 2 small keys. And Alyn still doesn't go to the Maya area. Why don't they do that? They know they'll have to. He's going Swamp instead. Yeah, okay, they're looking for a sword, but Myra, that's 3 quick checks and you'll get the security about that medallion.
Yeah, especially since Swamp Palace, you get more checks total because you get 6 versus 3, but it's 6 very slow checks.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that it's that they might do that because they know that Samaria is on the mountain and they need a sword for that, and they want to do all of Maya area in one go, including the Maya Misery Maya itself. But I don't think it's a good decision. And as we can see in this seed, with the second sword in the Maya shed, it really bites them. Well, the mountain play from Alyn, I think, yes, you know there is a mail upgrade and the silvers up there. That can be the explanation for that mountain play, but nah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, and unfortunately the big thing, as a couple of people in chat have noted, is that we've basically seen almost the entire game right now, and we have not seen another sword. It might be in Meyer or Turtle Rock here, which they've Toplife and dazedcloud have sort of run through, but at this point it's either got to be in those dungeons, which are cane locked, or Ganon's Tower. So unfortunately, it seems super unlikely they're going to run across another sword somewhere.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that Zo is going to show us. It's a red bomb. Also, there can be a sword, but well, wouldn't be nice.
Yeah, to answer a question in chat, Toplife had finished off Meyer, and it's a very short Mario. You didn't have to do the cutscene chest. dazedcloud just finishes off Turtle Rock there, and I believe was able to skip Blazer Bridge entirely.
Yeah, I think so too. He'll be having a really quick ice palace with Icebreaker and a quick Misery Mire now. He'll be done pretty soon.
Yeah, so what Toplife is going to show off here, it's the new Icebreaker glitch approved maybe 3-4 weeks ago by the council. Essentially what you do, and you'll see it very quickly here, is basically you use Samaria to clip through the rail here.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the game thinking you're still in the door, and yeah, you see the result over here, and that makes Ice Palace from a slow dungeon to a very quick one.
Yeah, but it looks like Toplife is going to check a couple chests on the way here, which makes sense, because, or at least the very simple ones. It does make sense, because the third sword would save you enough time with the remaining game to really make up for it.
Yeah. Oh, and Zo is finally going to the Maya area, so they'll know they're being Go mode in a second. He'll confirm the Maya medallion to be Ether, and now he'll find his sword here in Maya Shed.
And there we go, at 1 hour 10 minutes. Shovel is the true Go mode is in no mode. They still need to go pick up the cane, but does know where that's at already.
Yeah, and Zo is still checking Checkerboard Cave, maybe on the hunt for a third sword. Now he'll get his Ice Rod first from the Hammer Packs, and then he'll go to get his Samaria. And on Alyn, we'll see the other recently allowed glitch, which is the diver down glitch here in Swamp. We're clipped through another rail and basically, well, dive down under the water. But he... Is he going back to check the big chest? They should know they are in Go mode right now. What are they doing?
I mean, maybe hoping for a third sword would be all I could imagine.
Yeah, but leaving the diver down and going back to the big chest, that makes no sense in my eyes. For that one check? No. Yeah, maybe they want that shovel for their Go mode. That could be an explanation. Yes, chat. That's right.
dazedcloud finishing off the Vidi fight, the very easy one with silvers. Nicely done, though.
There was a Vidi? I didn't see him. It was that fight was over too quick. Yeah, with silvers, that fight is practically a joke. It's so easy.
Yeah, meanwhile, since do not have the upgraded sword yet, I'm going to show off the nice little menu boss here.
Yeah, meanwhile, dazedcloud doing his last dungeon before GT. Go mode Ice Palace. Should be just 3 to 4 minutes, then he'll be out of here. Should be very quick.
dazedcloud setting up the icebreaker here.
Yeah, there he got it. It's not as easy as it might seem, because you have to move exactly 1 pixel, and that's not too easy.
It isn't, but I will say that for those of you who haven't learned it yet, there are a couple very good videos out there. I believe Koi has put together the one that I used, and I recommend to people, which really help, and they really explain very well exactly what you're trying to do and give you a few options of how to do that 1 pixel movement.
Yeah, that one from Koi is pretty good. I've seen that.
And it's just so much of a time savings. Cuts out some of the most difficult execution rooms in Ice Palace, so like it's definitely worth learning if you're interested in the game.
Yeah, you can learn about you can save about 2 to 3 minutes with that icebreaker.
Oh, dazedcloud showing off the room we almost never see here for the magic refills.
Yeah, he needs that. No bombos, so he'll need the fire rod to crack the shell of the boss, and so he needs full magic.
Yeah, it's absolutely the right call. It's just something you don't see very often. Good game knowledge to remember that's there, because most of the time you don't necessarily do it.
nicely done. And now... yeah, he'll use a blue potion to refill his magic shortly. And then use the fire rod. Because fire rod has splash damage, area damage, which you can see very nicely in this fight. So it's he makes a very short time of the boss here. Yeah, and we haven't explained it yet, because we'll have our big key guessing game for GT now. There are 22 locations in GT where that big key can be, so put your numbers between 1 and 22 in chat right now. The game has already started, and yeah, we'll see. dazedcloud will be on his way to GT. Once he enters GT, we'll stop the game. So put your numbers in chat. Till then.
Yeah, and topplife has to go through Turtle Rock here, but with the amount of time dazedcloud's going to take doing the mountain, toplife's only going to be a couple minutes behind his teammates, so nice coordination there to be about the same time.
Yeah, especially since dazedcloud already did Turtle Rock and has advised topplife which checks to not check and which to do. So topplife will have a fairly quick Turtle Rock. As quick as it can be. Meanwhile, it seems that So and Alyn have finally realized they're in go mode and have started to clear dungeons. But at this point, they're both pretty far behind. So just has 3 dungeons to clear. But Alyn, he still has 6 dungeons to clear. No, well, 5 now because he just finished Port. And, well, it's... Since dazedcloud just already has all dungeons and topplife is in his last dungeon, I don't think they realistically have a chance right now. Until something very bad happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shovel has had some unfortunate, taken a few unfortunate deaths, and then also that putting off Meyer has really hurt them in this seed. I mean, it makes sense in some cases, but unfortunately, this was not the seed to say, "Hey, let's wait and get some Aria and do Meyer just once."
Yeah, and also in the beginning, they didn't check Lumberjack, which did not help them. It was about, I think, 35 minutes till they checked Lumberjack and saw their second glove there. And it was also a little time loss.
dazedcloud starting off with the full right strategy here. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but nothing there. So topplife knows he won't have to go on the right side unless it's in the tile room.
Yeah, and if it's in tile room, you always just shrug it off because no one ever does tile room first unless they already feel like they've lost. So it's one of those things that feels awful in the moment, but from an actual racing perspective, it doesn't really hurt you.
Yeah, but I think it could be a strategy if topplife comes to GT while dazedcloud is still somewhere in like rando room or so. He could go to the tile room to gamble that maybe it's there because Toplife doesn't have many checks left, and well, could be a gamble. Oh, and there is our Bombers medallion to GT today. And still no third sword.
So to answer a question in chat, essentially what this is co-op mode. So Shovel is the true go mode, represented by So and Alyn. All four runners have the exact same seed. Shovel is the true go mode, or on a team and talking in chat, hey, here's where an item is, here's where another item is. Same thing for reheated leftovers. The overall score is whoever ends up with the total best average time between their two runners.
Yeah, and there we have the big key in GT. I think that was number 13, if I've counted correctly. Yeah, should be number 13. And there we have Taudemon, was the winner of GT guessing game, and he'll be getting 21 points. And Ayatane also guessed correctly, and he'll be getting 5 points. Congratulations to our winners.
Yeah, and good choice by dazedcloud there, being a little ahead of his teammate to do just the very next check, which doesn't really cost you any time in that scenario. Those four checks cost you maybe 30 seconds, and it's a very quick thing. And in this case, it pays off with tempered, so that time is going to pay itself back.
Yeah, that's very nice. And that's very good game IQ, I think, to do that.
Yeah, meanwhile, So is on his last dungeon, going to go through Turtle Rock here, and Alyn still has Swamp, Ice, and Mire to do, but plus Turtle Rock, so a few minutes behind there.
Oh, and dazedcloud showing us why we know that bongs are considered to be no logic break because of that one room in GT. It's only accessible via a bonk, so we know the developers intended it to be no logic break to do a bonk.
I am just personally glad that the developers thought that it was bonks rather than the other way to cross that, which is a bomb jump.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really amazing how the developers have put things in this game that make the randomizer very interesting. Like, for example, the one chest in Eastern on the right, where you can hookshot over there. There's in the base game you don't have the hookshot at that point, so there is no need for that possibility. But still, it's there, and there are very, very many of those things all over the game. So all that makes the randomizer really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also interesting, even just the way that, the damage tables work. So, they've actually put in special damage tables for things like silvers on Vitreous, which there is no way to ever get that in the regular game, things like that. So,
yeah, it is as if they wanted the randomizer to happen. about 30 years ago.
Oh, and dazedcloud just barely missing that door entry there.
Well, now he got it. Just has to be careful not to desync here. And there goes Maldom 2 for dazedcloud. He'll be with his Aga 2 fight very soon. And topplife also bonking over to that room I mentioned earlier.
Meanwhile, on Alyn's side, gonna have to be kind of careful here with Cold Stare.
Yeah, he doesn't have a potion left and only 2 hearts right now. To die here would not be nice. But their 2 puffs are down. Oh, 1 heart left. And there he has done it.
Nicely done. Nice savings there. Got conservative there at the end, which was definitely the right call. Very nicely done.
Yeah. So still doing the laser bridge to maybe find another sword, but nope, not today. So Alyn will be able to pass on that.
Yeah, but that makes a lot of sense, knowing that you're ahead of your teammate. Because if you find another sword there, you can help it out for your teammate. All that.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense to make those checks.
Yeah. Meanwhile, dazedcloud's come and gone to Ganon. I think first and second phase already over. Yeah, third phase. Has to be a little careful, just 2.5 hearts left, but the hard parts are over.
Yeah, if I remember right, dazedcloud has at least 1, maybe 2 potions sitting around.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and with silvers, this 4th phase should be over before you know it. It's should be really quick. Could that be a triple? Yes.
Very nice triple there. Get your GGs in chat for dazedcloud. And we will try to get dazedcloud in here for an interview. With topplife about to do Aga 2, we might wait till both runners finish.
Yeah, meanwhile, Zo is entering GT. I think he'll do the same as dazedcloud and continue after the first, after he finds the big key and look for a tempered sword. especially since when he's at the point that that he finds the big key, I think Toplife will already have finished. So he knows it's well, they can't win anymore.
Yeah, especially with the routing to go right side first. It's a good chance Toplife will be done before So finds the big key. So getting those extra 4 chests in rando room like dazedcloud did doesn't really cost you anything. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and well, I'm assuming that the reheated leftovers will win now. So that makes the Skullwoods division really, really interesting. We have one team which is through. Team Awesome is awesome. But we have right now one team on 7 wins and 7 losses. It's ups, da war es auch nicht. Then with this win from the reheated leftovers, we'll have 3 teams on 7 wins and 6 losses. That's Behemoth, Major Mistakes, and the reheated leftovers. All 3 of them will have 1 game left and not against each others. So could be very interesting how that will be coming.
Yeah, just to we do have a nice little spreadsheet prepared by some of the mods of the league. Essentially how it works now that reheated leftovers has won, they will actually clinch a playoff spot with this win, assuming that, you know, the world doesn't fall apart in Toplife's remaining Ganon fight here, which you can't imagine it would. That clinches a playoff spot for them, but then the other playoff spot is up for grabs between Jaime, Ups to War, and potentially Major Mistakes, depending on just how other matches play out.
Nah, the real leftovers aren't through that yet. If they lose their last game, which is against the Shovel guys again, they'll be on 7 and 7. If Major Mistakes and Hime both win their last game, they'll be on 8 and 6, and so reheated leftovers will be 4th or 5th, and that would mean they won't be in the playoffs. So then they're not through yet.
Okay, yes, I was misreading the spreadsheet. I apologize to everybody.
But they'll have 1 more game, and if they win that, they'll be guaranteed in the playoffs. Almost guaranteed. Yeah, if the real leftovers win their last game, the only way they could lose is if it comes to a 3-way race off for the playoffs, in which 2 teams get into the playoffs and 1 comes short, and they come short there. So they are almost guaranteed. But now also Toplife has finished GG's, and we'll have a look if we can get the reheated leftovers for an interview.
And we are joined by Toplife, GG's. Looks like dazedcloud is going to join in a sec as well. Yeah, GG.
GG's, guys.
Ooh, got as low a voice as I do.
Yep, I can do that.
GG's there.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice routing of you guys.
Yeah, no, things were good. I mean, Top made it really easy. It was just because once we once we kind of figured out where our Dark World access was, and then he went up to
Catfish.
well, yeah, Catfish. But before that, he found out where the gloves were, right? And so we both did Aga. Then he went up to, he was a little bit ahead, so he went up to Catfish. And I was already saying, okay, I'm going to go up to the mountain next and stuff. And he goes to Catfish, and he goes, actually, Catfish has bow. And it's like, well, now I'm going there first. And then we just split up, and I went and did Eastern and Pod, and he went and did all of the village checks there. And next thing we knew, he went up to the mountain, and we were in go mode, and that was that.
Yeah, and then there was only that sword missing.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. It you know, we luckily like went down to Myershed because he was like, where we might be in go mode already, and I was like, okay. So he went down to Myershed to check and found that it was ether down there, and it was just like, well, all right, cool, we're good.
Yeah, that was definitely one thing that made quite a bit of difference in the race. Is you guys checked the Mire area significantly earlier. What were your thoughts behind that? Did you just want to find out what the Mire was, or?
Yeah, medallion for sure. Like I was going up the Turtle Rock and I just figured out, no, it's much easier to also know the Mire first. So I should have fluted the Mire before doing the old man rescue with the towns, but yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that swamp play was a bit unnecessary.
It was just kind of like, it was, you're not going to pass up swamp, you're not going to pass up the 6 items. So like, that's why we kind of were, we were basically going to try not to do the same thing as the other person. So, going into swamp and like full clearing it, I mean, yeah, that didn't, full clearing it and not getting a thing didn't feel good, but like at the same time, it meant that, like, I think I was in swamp when he told me, oh, I found Quake, we're in go mode, and it was just like, oh, cool, fantastic. So I mean, yeah. it ended up working out.
And it's also important for us to send dazedcloud into Swamp Palace, else I will skip left side.
Yeah, Top's not going left side. There's certain things that I know he's not going to do that I have to do. That's one of them. But yeah, no, we've been doing this. We've been teammates for a year now, so we kind of have a pretty good feeling of like what the other one is capable of and stuff like that. That's why he was like, "Why don't you go to Eastern, on 3 hearts without being able to see anything?" And and just go through here. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, why not, let's do it. So that was fun times though.
Yeah, I could see you two work good together as a team. Was very nice. He's
a good teammate.
Thank you.
Yeah, he has definitely made me better by coming onto my stream and making fun of me all the time.
Isn't that what teammates are for?
That's exactly what it's for. I do the same thing to him, but he doesn't have voice when he races, so.
So how are you guys feeling about the league in general, and your chances in to make the playoffs and chances therein?
The league is great as always. Yeah, we need more league. The break between season 1 and 2 was way too long. No, it's kind of about the chances. Like, we were kind of just starting practicing our secondary sprites just for fun. We had kind of lost hope. And then we ticked in a message that the one team we needed to win won yesterday. But, we need to sharpen up our game again. We have a chance.
I'd say a pretty good chance right now.
Well, we need some help. is the thing. Like we need noble foxes to win, or we need feline paralysis to win. And if one of those two teams win, and I guess if we win, assuming we win the next game, then we would make playoffs. But it's like, yeah, it's unfortunately out of our hands. I dropped a game earlier in the season that I felt like I could have won, and it's just there were some points that we left on the table. But the league is
6 seconds. So.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's just we're feeling all right, but the league, we love it. Like it's the most fun I have playing Rando.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's something that I've noticed as well, is like there are no easy games in the league. I mean, everybody in the league, even the teams which, don't have a lot of wins, are fairly solid players. So
yeah, shout outs to Nobly there. Go on, buddy, make us proud. But yeah, no, it's a tough league. It's a ton of fun. Met a lot of good people in it. Nothing but good things to say about it.
Well, right now I'm not sure. How is it to be determined who gets to the playoff if there are multiple teams on the same points? Isn't it a race-off, or is it how they played against each other?
So there's a bunch of tiebreakers. Essentially, it's how you did against other teams that you're head-to-head tied with, and then if you're still tied after that, it goes how you did, I believe, against playoff teams, how you did against non-playoff teams. Like, there's a whole list of them, but the very last one is that if you're all tied after all those tiebreakers, you actually do a head-to-head race.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and Frosty, one of the mods, put in chat, essentially the short version is that if Reheated wins their last game, they need either Jaime or Major Mistakes to lose. If Reheated loses against Shovel in their rematch, then both Jaime and Major Mistakes need to lose.
Well, at least one of the teams has the right names. We have already seen some major mistakes from Major Mistakes. Maybe they'll deliver another one.
I'm pretty sure that if Hime loses the next one now, we don't want Major Mistakes to lose, because then we get the tiebreaker versus Hime, and that's the one we will win.
It's complicated and messy and everything, and GG to So there for finishing it up there.
Yeah, I think So said in chat that has to skip an interview, has something else going on, but definitely GG's to So for playing this out. And then we'll see what goes on with Alyn as well.
Well, thanks, guys. I think I'm going to step off for the rest of the night here. And it's 12 o'clock here, so I'm probably going to go to bed.
Absolutely. Again, GG's. Thank you for letting us calm this, and definitely give dazedcloud, topplife, So, and Alyn all a follow. They are very good runners. All gave us a very good show today. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks from me too.
Yeah, big thanks to all of to you guys for coming, and big thanks to the trackers and the restreamers, everybody. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, and there we are, just waiting for Alyn to finish.
Yeah, and so while we wait for the finish, thank you to everybody for watching the the Speed Gaming here, watching us here on Speed Gaming Prime. My name is Arusta. My co-commentator, of course, is Bigfoot. And as we said before, big thanks to our trackers, Dark Diplomat and Star, for keeping us on track, pushing the buttons for us.
Yeah, and also big thanks to our runners. It's always fun to watch them, and well, also a big thanks to our viewers, because without you, we wouldn't do this. Yeah, Alyn, meanwhile, has found his big key, has gotten his tempered sword, and will now climb the mountain. Meanwhile, I could announce that there will be a whole lot of games today. I'm just reducing it to announce those who will be restreamed tonight. We'll have a game between the Sexy Gannons and the Team Challenged at 1:10 p.m. on Speed Gaming 4. The runners will be Friday and Fashita Knight versus Fant and Ridley Dragon. Then we'll have another game between Major Mistakes and Nobly Foxes on the ALTTPR League channel at 2:10 p.m. Cutterbat and Nobly the Foreign versus Tito and Obscure Lifeform. This game will be very interesting for the result of the Skullwoods division, as was this game we watch right now. Then later, at the same time, at 2:10 p.m., we'll have Hyrule Track and Field versus CLW on Speed Gaming. HXC Jedis and Swerve versus Mr. Scruff Ninja, Tuna and Naps. Also on 2:10 p.m. we'll have on Speed Gaming 3 Swerfinity Spaceballs, Swerfinity versus Spaceballs, the Rando team, GFE 12 and Killer App versus Sabotender and Phantom Ryu. And well, that's not all. At 3:10 p.m. on the ALTTPR League channel, the Double Dippers versus Did You Check Your Boot? Moogle Charm and Tam versus Edamp and Rampant Revenant. Then at 4:10 p.m. we'll have Bird on the ALTTPR League 2 channel. We have Beard Force 1 versus Broken Triforce, Dr. Bob-tastic and Big Dunker versus Dark Shadows 59 and Gloin. And we are still not over. At 4:10 p.m. also on Speed Gaming 5, Feline Paralysis versus Hema. Also interesting for this game we're watching right now. JJ Blue and Dragon Strike versus Ursula 4115 and Kermit. And because we're having so much fun, at 7:10 we'll have on Speed Gaming 5 Opgit Good versus Old Swagger Jackson, Salinkalot and Magnificent versus Wallkicks and Kern. And because we like the randomizer really much. At 9:25 p.m. we'll have on SpeedGaming 4 grouchy old men versus But We're Buddies, Siler Price and Chelsea Alyn versus Words and Fantalis. And I think that's all the games that are being restreamed today. I think that's 9. So we'll have a long day of rendo in front of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've also got tomorrow. We haven't decided on restreams yet, but there are games which are scheduled basically starting at 1:40 p.m. Eastern. There's a game pretty much consistently from them all the way until 8:10 p.m. So pretty much all day tomorrow. Restreams, of course, are still being decided, but there are a bunch of good matches. And if you're watching the ALTTPR League standings, there's a bunch of divisions which are still up for grabs, or pretty much all the games still have some kind of relevance to the playoff picture. So definitely worth watching. Keep an eye on the ALTTPR League website, which will be updated with those schedules and restreams for tomorrow once everything gets settled out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alyn has cut down Maldom 2, and he'll be doing his Aga 2 fight very soon. He has a little trouble in this room. Has to be careful, just 1.5 hearts right now, but now he got through it. Oh, and now it gets really dicey. Just half a heart left. That's gonna be difficult, because I don't think he has any potions left, so he has to be very, very careful. Oh yeah, he has a blue potion left and he uses it right now. That's good.
Yeah, though it is worth noting, I believe that was the last potion and does not have the money to buy more right now, so we'll need to be pretty careful on the Ganon fight here.
Yeah, but 13 hearts, that should be okay. If nothing really unfortunate happens, he should be fine. And there's Alyn in phase 3 of the Ganon fight. He should be okay now.
Yeah, though might want to hold off and skip the first cycle triple to make sure it gets torch glitch, because he is kind of tight on magic right now.
Yeah, he's really tight on magic, but he doesn't do it. Nah, he doesn't get the torch glitch. But with silvers, he should still be okay, I think. That should be a double. just has enough magnet. That should be a last double. Yeah, and there he got it just on his last bit of magic.
Yeah,
Yes,
get your
that.
GGs in chat. We unfortunately will not have time for an interview. We have something else coming up on Speed Gaming Prime in just a second. We have a, I believe, an SMZ3 race, which is going to start pretty much straight into this. So if you've been interested in Zelda, definitely keep an eye on for the SMZ3 race. Thank you very much, everybody. My name is Arusta. I'm correct, Mario Kart. I apologize. My name was Arusta. My co-commentator was Bigfoot. Thank you to our trackers, Dark Diplomat and Star. And thank you very much to Speed Gaming Prime for hosting. Thanks to all the runners. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a nice day.